My goodness, man. My goodness. It's almost 1 a.m. and some things need to be said here because what an event. Like what a what an eventful event, I guess is what I would say. Because you have an insane decision that has one of the returning champions lose their belt. You have potentially one of the greatest performances in the history of the sport for real. Like for real, for real.
Yeah.
Top to bottom performance, Chandler.
Yeah.
Like, given the situation, entrance, knockout, post fight, legitimately, potentially one of the greatest performances of all time. I mean, you'd be hard pressed to think of something like a non-title fight where there isn't inherent stakes on the line. There's not like an inherent enormous event happening. It's just on the fighter to create his own moment. As a matter of fact, given that it's on the fighter to create his own moment, that was the greatest performance of all time. And I'm actually say that pretty confidently without any kind of like recency bias. I mean, it's just absolutely unreal. And then you have Oliveira, who officially now has gone from a guy who was known as being like breakable, like a guy who, like, if he got hurt, you had to be concerned if he's going to be able to continue, to a guy where you can have him fucking in a body bag, you know, with like one finger moving. It's all, hey, are you guys sure he's dead? They're all, I think so. All he can move is a finger. It's like, he's not done then, dude. I mean, he took that shot he got hit with, where he kind of like paused and then fell. That's getting fucking racked. Like that's a different kind of knockdown. You know, man, dude. He is a savage, dude. Oliveira is incredible. Absolutely incredible. It was a lucky kick. Oh, that's hilarious. But then Rose, that fight, I mean, here's the deal, dude. Where should I start, actually? I'll start with the Chandler fight. So Michael Chandler's coming off 2 losses. Okay. Now, as a person, Gabrielle, come sit. As a person coming off 2 losses, his 2 losses were not bad for his career, right? Like, he lost to Charles Oliveira after 10-8 rounding the first round, which is the most dominant anyone's looked against the current dominant champion. So even in a loss, he looks like, you know, he looks real solid. Then he has the fucking greatest 3-round fight of all time, fight of the year for 2021 against GAETHJE, but he lost those both. He lost both the fights. So he's coming into this fight on a 2-fight skid. And like, even though towards his career, those losses don't matter, if he loses another fight, there's no explaining your way around 3 straight losses. Like, his fucking life is on the line in that fight. Like, his career is on the line in that fight. Tony's was too. And he got clipped early, hard. Tony was throwing fucking leather at him, dude. Tony was actually incredibly impressive in that fight. Tony looked really good. That's the thing that's so fucked up about this sport, dude. It's like, Tony looked the best he's looked in forever. And then, oopsie, takes a fucking ball of the foot front kick to the chin, and he's unconscious for 20 minutes.
That was wild.
He was fucked up. I'm sure you guys didn't see it on TV.
Yeah, did they show it?
They don't ever show it on TV like that. Like, when guys are really
out,
he was
lifeless.
He was
for
fucked
like
up.
2 minutes.
So, like, one of the first times that I've actually considered, like, dude, he might have killed him. Like,
I thought they were gonna bring in a stretcher.
Yeah, I was like,
I was waiting for like a neck brace the whole night.
Yeah,
like, it was
me too.
Wild.
I was surprised when he stood up. Like,
yeah.
I was thinking neck brace carry
same.
job. Because he did not move. I mean, he didn't move a
they
millimeter.
showed a good amount of it.
Yeah, he would laid completely still for at least 5 to 6 minutes. That might not sound like a lot of time. Think about 5 to 6 minutes. Did not move even a little bit. Just flat.
Yeah.
Big crowd around him. Chandler celebrates, but for Chandler, he's going into that fight. When he and I talked,
what's happening?
I'm taking off my shoes. When he and I talked, I can't remember if I included this in the clips that I used, but he was like, dude, I'm going to be 36 in a week.
Which in fighter years.
And in fighter years, yeah. And you could tell, to him, because I don't care about what a real, I don't care if he's 36 old, is 36 not old. All I care about is how he sees it. It's what's in his mind. And he's coming off 2 losses. He's acknowledging, dude, I'm 36. Which paints a picture of this fight was completely fucking do or die for him.
Yeah.
Completely. His entire life has been built around combat sports. He had to win this fight if he was going to continue to chase the dream he's been chasing his entire life. The dream could have ended for him tonight. The dream could have, if he lost this fight, dream ends. He gets clipped in the first. That's why I love this fucking sport so much. He gets clipped in the first round, stumbles. He loses his legs. In that moment, his fucking dream is hanging on by a thread, dude. By a thread. And it's what's this guy made out of, dude? What's he fucking built out of?
Granite.
And he survived. Then took Tony down. He was in trouble throughout that entire first round. Remember the people behind us are all, man, real tough fucking round to judge. I was like, if you don't know anything about mixed martial arts, just because he got to take, it did get a little bit closer towards the end because he started landing some pretty good ground and pound, but Tony did excellent in that round. But that wasn't anybody watching the fight, it couldn't just be oh, wow, this is going exactly as Chandler had hoped.
No.
And he came out and he threw a technique that I don't remember seeing him do ever.
The face kick?
A fucking front kick, ball of the foot kick to Tony's face.
Said
Tony's wave.
That was going to happen. That wasn't part of his after speech. Was I don't know, just kind of happened.
That's because he's just he just believed he was going to win, and the universe just puts it together. But he's just a ridiculous athlete that knows how to move. He saw an opening, he took it, and it landed. It's the best knockout of all time. She said she heard Rogan say it was the best knockout of all time.
Did you guys hear that?
I thought he said it was the best front kick knockout of all time.
No, I think he said it's the best knockout he's ever seen.
But I think it's the best knockout of all time.
That's what Joe said. I think.
I'm what better knockout is there?
He said front kick KO. Okay.
That's what I thought. But nonetheless, when I thought about it, I'm what's a better knockout? You got Francis decapitating Alistair Overeem. You got Rich Franklin putting Nate Quarry's jaw through the back of his skull. You got Kamaru knocking out Masvidal. Eve Edwards knocking out Josh Thompson. I'm trying to think of the other best knockout, but
it was crazy.
None of them can hold a candle to that knockout. Buckley was a great one. But dude, he flatlined Tony. That was
he was gone.
Dude, that was one of the most devastating impacts I've ever seen on a human. Rashad's KO of Chuck was good. Nah, Conor over Aldo. I'm talking the gravity of that fight was obviously much bigger, but I'm talking about just the straight up knockout itself. But yeah. And then, so after he knocks him out, I said to all these guys, all these guys, I was like, wait till you hear his fucking post speech. Cause I asked him about that. I was like, you got something prepped? And he's like, oh yeah. And then he just started talking and you could tell he was completely off the cuff. And I was like, what the fuck? He's so shocked by this that he's just his brain's so scrambled that he's just I'm just going to talk regular. And then all of a sudden he snapped into gear and he delivered his prepared lines. And it was like, that's fight game right there. Like these guys that fucking complain, I don't get the right placement. The UFC's not marketing me. Guess what, dude? You win by knockout, they put a fucking microphone in your face. You see what he did? Do that. Fucking do that. Or at least give it a run, dude. If you go, well, I can't do it like that. Okay, well then don't fucking complain that Michael Chandler gets paid more than you.
He's a showman.
He like that. Yeah. He was the fight before that was horrendous. The place was booing the fucking building down. The energy was gone. After Chandler fucking his speech and left.
It was wild. Yeah.
Dude, it felt like if you took the collective blood pressure of the fucking place, it was off the charts. It was like he saved the show. Like, that was one of the greatest moments ever. He's a fucking
so crazy.
Badass, dude. And not only does he deliver the line so well, he strategized around who to call out. He calls out, he's like, give me a fucking rematch with GAETHJE in case GAETHJE wins, right? Put himself in a position for a title shot. But he knows he's probably not actually in position for a title shot because they're probably going to give it to Islam Makhachev. And so he secondarily calls out fucking Conor at 170. Brilliant, dude. Give him two options. Fucking rip the goddamn doors off. Give him two options. Both wins for you. Like, dude, that guy's fucking career. Chandler came in and his first fight was Dan Hooker. Coming in out of Bellator where everyone's like, oh, let's see what he's got. Dirt naps him, then delivers a speech very similar to tonight. Then goes out, almost knocks out fucking Charles Oliveira. Next one, GAETHJE, fight of the year 2021. And then now this. Like, dude, he's like defining what elite perfection fight game is. You know, like obviously if he won the fights it'd be better, but like, you know, he came into the UFC, he's 36 now. So what, he came in when he's 35. He came in wise. Like he came in like a person who understands the fight business and came into the UFC like a year and a half ago.
That's crazy.
2 years ago. Because he was the champion in Bellator.
Yeah.
And then came because he's like, I wanted to see what I had against the big guys. And he said to me, he's like, if I lost, I was okay with that. But I had to like test myself before I was done to see where I was at. He literally embodies every single thing I love about the fucking sport. Yeah. And he's the first big guy who ever said my name publicly. So he's my dude. He's my dude forever. Dude, Charles Oliveira is a fucking savage. He's an absolute savage. Charles Oliveira, I don't even know what to even say about that. The shot that the shot GAETHJE hit him with where he delayed fell, that's like spinal damage. You know, like that's like a guy gets wrecked and needs time off. You know, like when they get hit that hard and they try and then they just kind of like, oh, my brain doesn't work and they fall. People don't recover from that like that in the same fucking round. Just completely turn the tables. He's like the most resilient fighter in the what exactly the opposite of what he was known for. He was known for cracking and breaking. He is the most resilient fighter in the UFC maybe. But yeah, I don't even know what else to say about that. Rose is delusional. What did she say? Because
someone said what she said in the after or the post.
What'd she say?
I don't know. They just said what she said. And we haven't seen it, obviously. The post.
Pat Perry's corner advice sounded like he was grooming Rose. Oh God. Okay. So I obviously didn't hear the commentary, but here's what I'll say. Rose is fighting. She's fighting fucking. What's her name? Jesus. Carla Esparza. Carla Esparza is incredibly dangerous on the ground, as you guys saw. Like when she got a hold of Rose had to pull some crazy shit to escape. A couple times, yeah. Like she had to like escape. Carla's dangerous one place. If it's on the feet, she's not dangerous. If it's on the ground, she's incredibly dangerous. And so Rose prioritized not getting taken to the ground.
Yeah, like what was she supposed to do?
If she would have committed, it's a shit matchup. Honestly, it's a shitty matchup. Because if Rose commits, you know, she throws instead of like a kind of like a touch jab, where if she steps into a jab, then she steps into a jab cross and she commits, she's
down.
very likely going to get taken down. So like she's trying to bait Carla into pushing forward with strikes that she can counter. If I was going to critique Rose's performance, the only thing I would say about it is I think she had an exceptional game plan.
She wasn't
the only thing that she needed to do was when Carla did move forward, counter more. That's all. But like people booing her makes no sense. Like she would lose, or at least would put herself at risk of losing if she just is like pressing forward. Like she's just pressing forward. Carla Esparza is exceptional at takedowns. And then once she's on you on the ground, she can finish anybody. And keep in mind, Rose, she strangled Rose last time they fought. So Rose is like, I'm going to stay on my feet.
I don't want to get strangled.
Exactly. Now, how you could give Carla Esparza, so one of them scored at 49-46. What the fuck are you talking about? 49-46, 4 rounds to Carla Esparza. She had 1 round where she had had Rose a little bit in trouble, and then Rose had amazing escapes. 1 round. Like what the fuck did Carla Esparza do in the second round? What did she do? Like, it's ridiculous. Like,
I'm curious what the commentary was, because obviously we can't hear it when we're there live.
Yeah.
Like, what did the commentary sound like to you guys? You guys are saying that Pat Barry was saying she was winning. Was that? Can you hear them in
Pat Barry saying she was winning? She was winning.
Like, we thought she was winning when we were watching. Like,
she was winning.
We saw.
No, you're right. Rose didn't do anything either, but she's the champion. She's a champion. She landed more punches than fucking Carla did. I'm sure they were roasting the fight. I get that. Rose literally only won round 5. Explain that. So what did Carla do to win? Carla Bell wasn't winning it. I mean, listen, Carla's staying at the hotel here. She's downstairs with her entire family, like probably, I don't know, what do you think, like 35 people?
Not that many, 20 people. But she's got a crew
20?
down in the lobby.
I think it's more than 20, dude. Did you see that shirts all over? They were all wearing Carla Esparza shirts.
Maybe more.
Minimum 20, high side 35 people that were there. And like, she was in there wearing the belt. She's fucking tiny, dude. She's 5'1". She's this tiny little thing.
She's so short.
And everybody was coming up and congratulating her, and they were all taking pictures. And I was like, okay, like, I don't think she won the fight, but that's pretty fucking cool, dude. Like, it's like a complete, like a life defining moment, you know, like,
yeah.
The Cookie Monster. Talk about the dumbest fucking nickname ever. They're all, no. You have to have a nickname. She's all, well, I don't have one. They're all, you have to have one. She's like, well, okay. I mean, my boyfriend calls me the Cookie Monster. They're all, no. She's like,
you need a new one.
The Cookie Monster. Okay, we're asking you for a UFC nickname. She's all Cookie Monster. They're all, that's like the least marketable thing ever. She's like, listen, you asked me my nickname. My nickname is fucking Cookie Monster. And they just write it down. They're all, cool. She'll never be a star. Like, Cookie Monster? Literally pick any word in the fucking English language and replace cookie, and it's a more gangster name. Like, here, shaving cream monster, better. You know, eye drops monster, better. Mentos monster, even kind of funny. Cookie Monster, terrible, worst. There's awful. They're all, well, you know, it can be something like kind of like Cookie Monster, just a little bit more gangster. She's all, well, the only things that I'm going to name it off of are Sesame Street. So how about Big Bird?
Okay, so wait, so you guys could hear Rose's corner? Were they mic'd? Like, they're booing, it's working. Like that, I mean, what we were watching, like, that was.
They are booing, it's working?
So, like, you guys could hear, like.
Okay, so mic'd. You know what? If he said that, did I not say this in the middle of the thing? Yeah. So I said that in the middle of the fight. That's interesting that he said that, because what I said is I said that their plan was to not engage, to get the fight, to get the fans booing, and Rose would demonstrate that she's more patient than Carla, to get Carla to move forward and try to trade in strikes so Rose would knock her out. I was like, that's what I think they're doing, is I think they're trying to bait Carla into trying to come forward to strike, make sure she can't take her down, let her get frustrated, make her move forward, and then Rose knock her out. Yeah. Like, the booing, did I not say that? Yeah, no, I literally said that. I was like, the booing, Rose is saying, like, I'm more patient than you. You're going to crack under the boos. I won't. And when you move forward, I'll knock you out. That's what I was gonna say. Like, that's the only thing she didn't do is like when Carla was moving forward, she just didn't stick her as much as she maybe could have. But also, dude, you saw when Carla got her arms around Rose, like Rose had to pull crazy roll escapes and shit.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm not like, look, it's not a good fight. Like, it wasn't like an entertaining fight. But I'm just saying, I understand. The crowd
was doing the wave. Like, I literally never. It was.
But the reason that it was the way that it was strategic. It wasn't like fucking. It wasn't like OSP versus Shogun, who are just like 45 years old and are just boring as fuck. They're like, all right, let's just spar. I'll kick your body, and then you throw the same 1-2 that's never going to land, and then you'll just do that for 15 straight minutes. Like, Rose was trying to implement like a high level game plan that I still don't understand the fuck they gave Carla the decision.
Yeah. Like,
wait. Rose was outstruck on the feet in the stats. Is that right? Because I haven't seen the stats. I just assumed that she outstruck her.
Like, more strikes or more strikes landed? Like, what?
Oh, if Carla outstruck her, then that changes things. That doesn't make any sense, though. I don't think.
3 strikes.
Jesus, 3 strikes. There were only 7 strikes combined after 2 rounds.
It was the first 2 rounds were brutal. They were super, super slow. But
I still thought Rose like landed more. Going as planned. Yeah, dude,
that's what we were.
Can I take a moment and just go, get the fuck off me because I said that? Did I not fucking say that about the plan?
Never take moments and say that.
But I said the plan was to get them to boo and make her uncomfortable so she pushed forward. I literally fucking said that.
And it was working. Like, you could see Carla getting frustrated and like stepping like inside more.
I'm a fucking genius, dude.
It just didn't play out the way that.
Wait, Trevor and Pat were saying the opposite things? Yeah, I don't know. All I know is Rose is my favorite. She remains my favorite. And this completely fucks the strawweight division because
they won't get a
rematch. They won't rematch that fight, which means Carla will sit back and she'll fight the winner of Weili versus Joanna, and then Rose will fight the winner of that fight, which hopefully will be Joanna or Weili. But given that Rose has beat both of them twice, Random chatter, thank you very much. Who does Justin fight now? Poirier, if not, then who? Ferg is going to be crazier now after brain damage. He looked damn good, though. He did look really good. It's too bad. But who does Justin fight? Maybe Poirier. But Poirier said that he's fighting in July, although I don't know who the hell he would be fighting because, yeah. I mean, I love the Gaethje and Poirier fight. I fucking love that fight. And Connor's not coming back till 2023, so Connor's outside of the consideration. Dude, it's crazy how much power fucking Oliveira has too. I mean, he hits a lot harder than he used to, dude. Like, he used to kind of had, like, I remember watching him maybe like 4 fights ago and just thinking like, he's very technically sound. He's like, he throws this punch, he's on the phone. Like, he throws this punch, he's on the phone. Like, he's very technically sound, but he doesn't look like a big, dangerous striking threat, Like, he just has really, I mean, that sounds ridiculous. Like, if they have good technique, of course they're striking threat, but like, not in terms of like he hits you and you're in serious trouble. And when he was throwing, dude, he's throwing fucking bombs at Gaethje. It's like he is fucking good, dude. So I'm going to say this about the Islam and Oliveira fight, and then I'm going to sign off because she's more interesting than you guys. Just kidding. But so I talked to Steve about the Hamzat and Burns fight and the Islam and Charles Oliveira fight. And he said purely from a grappling perspective that Hamzat would dominate Burns on the ground, barring Hamzat being hurt on his way down, where if it just goes to the ground, like Hamzat will dominate Burns positionally. He said the same thing about Islam to Charles. But then in practice, what ended up happening was he might have been right, but the risk of being submitted was high enough that Hamzat didn't want to engage with Burns on the ground. And so they ended up fighting standing up, right? So if you assume that you have the same situation with Charles and Islam, where like the risk of getting trapped in something when you got, you know, Charles on his back is high enough that it's like, I don't want to engage in any kind of like grappling exchanges, and they end up standing up. If Charles and Islam is a striking match, Charles is going to fucking win. You know, like I think a lot of people kind of in their gut want to pick Islam, but Charles, if that's a stand-up fight, Charles is going to win, dude. I mean, Islam's really hard to hit, but Charles puts tremendous pressure on guys. He's fucking good, dude. He's like legit. I mean, it's obvious, but like, I mean, he's like really good. And the fact that he's so unbreakable, like GAETHJE hit him with fucking nuclear shots. Anyway, I'm going to get sidetracked. I just wanted to put up a video and tell you guys that this was a great event. Some good fights, some weird ones. But we had a really, really, really good time. Anyway, love you guys. Peace.